my secrets, nothing more. I checked the drawers, I checked the spikes, left me hanging in my Nikes. Last night we tore up the town, now my wallet's not around. Call the cops or play it smooth, pay my debts and start anew. Hey, hey, where'd it go? My cash, my cars, my flow. Don't you know what's gone? Now I'm broke from dusk till dawn. Dancing lights and screaming bass, drinks were flowing in that place. Left a tip but lost my grip, now my wallet's gonna slip.
In a world where financial advice is as blurry as a wild night of cheap Jell-O shots, clear your head and your monetary halitosis with the About That Wallet Show, hosted by Anthony Weaver. Leave those Jell-O shots for the amateurs and learn to indulge in the top shelf bottles, baby. Now, here's your host, Anthony Weaver.
What up, everybody? Hopefully, y'all are having a wonderful time. If y'all are new to the show, my name is Anthony Weaver. I am the host of the About That Wallet podcast, where we focus on the sandwich generation. And if you don't know what that is, this is where we at. So, and we also want to help people spend money, talk about money, so that they can enjoy money with confidence. And one of the beautiful things that I hope you all are having is just a wonderful holiday. And I just want to say to all of you, that you've made it here. We've been blessed enough to wake up to see another day, and I understand that grieving is such a tough time right now. And if you cannot hear me, please let me know if there's any issues with the content. Hey, what's going on, Ruthie? Thank you for making it. Happy New Year. So one of the beautiful things about this year is that this is a new time to start focusing on the things that actually matter. And I also want to share with you some of my failures, some of my successes, the things that I've been up to with the podcast, and the things that are to come because of the different variations of life is providing this opportunity. And also, I just want to provide more value to you. Now, this is new. I'm used to having my microphone, but we're going to make this happen this year. So let's go on and start talking about, thank you for verifying that you can hear me loud and clear. Considering that I do speak a little low and that, I have my moments where I really wish that I could speak a little louder in person, but this is my practice. This is my year, 2026. I'm saying this to you all. This is going to be my year of no. And I've been saying yes to a lot of things, and I noticed that I need to start saying no to a lot of things as well, and also start setting up more boundaries around protecting my time and protecting my peace and the things that I'm willing to do throughout the year. So what do I mean by that? The first thing that I'm doing as far as setting my boundaries is that I'm only going to do maybe 2 conferences this year that I already paid for and I'll be going to. So we have PodFest, which is coming up soon. I think is January 14th through the, I want to say 18th. And then I have FinCon, which is coming up later in the year in September. I want to say the 16th through the 20th. It was a very short one. I have to double check on the dates for FinCon. But with FinCon and PodFest this year, those are the main 2. Am I saying no to the others? Yes. And because I'm saying no to those, I'm saying yes to a lot of other things. And I'll be talking about that when I get to the future side of the house. Oh, you saying your popcorn is ready? Nice. Hopefully the popcorn is kicking and is treating you well and is tasteful. You know, gotta have some good popcorn. So, all right. So as we go through, I'm gonna talk about some of the cool things that's been happening this year. All right. So I'm gonna do a deep dive. I'm gonna share my screen because a lot of you all are show and tell, and you all love to see behind the scenes stuff. So let's go on and get this going. I'm gonna share this with you all, and I'm gonna put it to the serve. Share my screen. Share the screen. Okay. All right. Like y'all know, life be lifing, but it is what it is. All right. So let me see if I can make this visible for the people who are looking at this vertically. All right. So for the year 2025, my videos have gotten 53,000 views. That is amazing. Watch hours that you all put in, which is really great. I got 782 watch hours, and I have a whopping 182 subscribers. I just want to say thank you all for subscribing and supporting the show, and continue on, share with your friends, so we can go ahead on and hit that 1,000 mark of subscribers. And no, I'm not out here trying to get bots. I just want to do this the right way. And by doing so, it's going to be a slow and steady progress. So, my content for 1 year, let's say the videos, I just usually like to see these. So, the click through rate, so some of y'all, we're just going to geek out a little bit about these studio analytics. Um, the average viewing is about 4 minutes and 32 seconds. We got 87.8 thousand impressions, which means that this is where it's being viewed at across the interweb, not the interwebs, but throughout YouTube. So it shows right here how many times the video thumbnails are shown to viewers, including impressions on YouTube and not external sites or apps. And then also the views are just over time. So how could we anticipate that? How are we going to change and shift? Now, because of that, now we get to look at what are the top videos. Once again, the top videos for 2025, we got Lisa J. Stocks coming in at the number one at the very top. Then we have Elizabeth Husserl. If you haven't checked that out, definitely check that out. And then we have uh, Samidha Ray. She is talking about AI. If you are looking into AI and trying to figure out is AI really what it is, we did an awesome deep dive into AI, what it's about, how is she as a professor at New York University is actually helping out with the ethics behind come with me, AI. And because a lot of AI has a lot of biases, we need to think about what it is that how we contributing to that process. So if that's something that you want to look into, highly recommend those episodes. So I'm only going to talk about the top three. Now, if we move over to just from a podcast perspective, what are we looking into? So from a podcast perspective, like actually listening into the episode and everything like that. So this is the back end for some of you who are familiar. Um, I'm gonna show this. A lot of podcasters won't show you this piece, but I am because we're authentic over here. So when it comes to 2025, the one I had the most listened to for downloads is Samit Hooray. Again, it's such an impactful episode. Talking about the future of AI and your wallet and how it's impacting. Then number two coming into the spot, which is Taming Your Money Monster with Doug Linham. Oh man, we had such a great time talking about this episode, far as like really putting your money into different buckets and really giving it a name is very important. And a lot of people got a lot of value out of it. And then again, coming at the top three is Elizabeth Husserl. So Elizabeth, her episode is really talking about when is enough for you? What is enough for your family? What is enough for your lifestyle? Are you really putting in the effort to make sure that you have what it takes to get everything done? Are you over leveraging? And this is an episode that's going to resonate with me for 2026 that I'll definitely will be listening to again, because I need to sit back and reset and really go through everything. And if you actually listen to this episode, it actually has an accompanying, her book is out and everything like that. So I say highly recommend those three. And that is the two main things there as far as episodes on YouTube, and then also episodes that are available on um, the RSS feeds. Now, let's get into what it is that I do outside of podcasting. So, when it comes to speaking engagements, one of the things that I've done so far this year, I have spoke at, let's see, 2025. I only had one speaking engagement, and I spoke at FinCon, and that was in Portland, Oregon. I had an amazing time out there. I was able to speak in front of almost 200 people, standing room, and we were talking about how to actually navigate conferences, how to take best advantage of a conference, and also how to get return on investment for attending a conference. That is a very important thing, because we need to figure out what are the steps that you need to do, whether it's building a friend, whether it's having long lasting relationships, or even just number three, how do you connect with the business owner so that you can start having those discussions and actually making money with that business. Now, we actually had several business owners inside the conference that are actually looking for brands to partner with. And they were actually giving the game right then and there in that room, so that you can actually, hey, learn how to do your pitch deck, learn how to create your media kit, and then also you want to make sure how are you providing a solution to the company's problems. And once you are able to articulate that in a way how your brand can align with their vision, you're all set. And on top of that, we had an amazing time actually just bringing up some of the cool um, thing that I like to do, which is your elevator pitch. And having an elevator pitch is one of the key things. How can you explain your business to somebody who doesn't know anything about your business, but also keep them intrigued to want to know more? So for me, I would say, like, hey, my podcast is about the sandwich generation, helping them to build strong financial habits so they can talk about money, spend money, and enjoy their money with confidence. It's enough to tell you what I'm about. It's tell you who my audience is, and also what my outcome is for my audience as well. Now, you might ask, well, how are you doing that? Then we can start having that conversation. So that's one of the things that if your elevator pitch is enough to get somebody intrigued to want to learn more, that's all it is there for. And then once you not pull them in, but once you grab somebody's attention, then you can start bringing up more things and so forth. So that's what I was talking about during that particular conference. I've attended, I would say, two other conferences since then. I did Afros and Audios. Oh, I actually spoke at Afros and Audio. So I spoke at Afros and Audio about podcasters who are beginning podcasters who are looking to either grow their business, grow their podcast. What are they looking for in their audience? How do they start a podcast? What do they need? What equipment they need? How to do it all by themselves? Are they looking for a partner? One of the things that a lot of people don't know is that when you have a co-host, you always on that co-host time. Do you pre-batch record, or are you guys going to do one a week, twice a week, and so forth? So one of the cool things about batch recording is that you have the ability to find everything all at once, and then you can look at it as a map and then use post-it notes to kind of move things around because everything's already pre-done, that you can actually now move everything around, schedule when those episodes going to be released, and you don't have to worry about finding out a time the next time when your co-host is going to be available. So, and that's just a snippet of what we talked about. And I keep saying we because I always had a co-speaker. The one for FinCon, I had a Quania Escarne, and then the one for Afros and Audio, I do not want to butcher her name because it was the last one, and it was my first time meeting her at this conference. And I want to say speakers. I'm trying to remember her name. I know what she looks like. Don't judge me. I'm actually taking. Oh no, they took down the. They already changed the website and they moved everything. Great. Well, I had a nice little conference talking about for new podcasters and getting everything together. So that was fun. And then I had with the podcast movement in Texas. Now that was entertaining. So we had a fun time there. And then going from that, I'll have to say my lessons learned. I will get to that in a moment. But I want to talk about all the other things. So the third thing that I do outside of going to conferences and actually speaking engagements and then showing up to do these interviews is that I also guest appearance on other shows. Now, one of the ways is that if you want to find out where I guest on other shows, you can actually go to youtube.com and then / about that wallet. And in there, I have a playlist that actually talks about all the shows that I've been on. And in that playlist, I would say it's where is that? Because usually show my guest appearances. There we go. Okay. So with my guest appearances, I've been on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, 6 episodes, like 6 different podcasts this year, just being a guest. And I'm meaning this year is in 2025. And by being a guest on those particular shows, it actually kind of helped if you want to learn a little bit more about me and actually how I utilize my bike method. And I talk more about the bike method in those particular episodes. And maybe later this year or so, I'll more than likely solidify that so that you can actually be part of that particular program. More than likely, it's going to be a self pace, and I will do like pre recorded episodes. I have a lot up here that I need to write down. So if this is interesting to you, you think this will be a fun activity, let's go ahead on and lock that in. Let me know. On top of that, what else I got? We need to start talking about the futures because that's one of the things that I do enjoy is the future. I enjoy talking about the future because it provides hope. It provides probability of success when you plan it out, when you really take time to think things through. It actually allows, it provides better, it's less stressful. Just talking it through, letting it breathe. Yeah, you can talk about it, but planning it. And if you don't accomplish it, it's okay. It's part of the process. So, going into the future, one of the things that I said I was going to do, and I need to get it done, is creating a magazine for the About That Wallet podcast. So look out for that. The second thing in the future is that I want to have my podcast network. Excuse me. So that's coming soon. Then Well, actually, my podcast network, so you'll get a timeline. Podcast network, I plan on having that by the time Podfest comes. So that's in 2 weeks. At least have the podcast network up and running. And then start allowing people to sign up to be part of the podcast network. All that details, fun stuff will be on a whole nother platform, a whole nother thing. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing. The third thing is that I got to get done, which is talking about doing in person activities. Now, we all know this wave of AI. We need to figure out what's real, what's not. We can't tell where things are. This is where you have that flexibility of really being in person and actually having those face to face conversations. Because I realized that we are missing that. And when I say we, I'm meaning that a lot of people just go to work, come home, they might turn on the TV. With a little bit of time they have, they might feel a little bit of excitement and try to spend time with the kids. Like the work get the best of you, the family gets the rest of you. And I want to change that around so that the work gets the rest of you and the family gets the best of you. And by doing so is that we got to re-energize. We got to get you out of your rut and change your mindset a little bit so that you can have all that energy that's necessary for your family. Now, the next thing that we have to focus on, what that I'm focusing on, is when even though I'm going to less conferences, I want to start honing in on providing quality content. With that being said, I might be shifting the podcast to do less live shows. I might be shifting live shows. I'm not sure yet based on the analytics from YouTube. I need to look into that a little bit more just to kind of figure out what day and time that I'll be shifting that. I know I owe, if Lisa, if you're listening, I know I owe you a 2 hour episode. We were supposed to talk about that. My apologies. This is one of my failures, okay? So we can talk about failures right now. Why not? So my failure, one of them is that I wanted to have an in-person event in 2025 in August, and I planned it back in February. And I was looking at different venues. The pricing was just not it, and I just for some reason could not justify or find a return on investment for spending about $4,000, if not more, just to kind of have maybe 5 or 6 people to show up for an event. It could be more. I don't know because I haven't done it yet. So that's one of my failures. And one of the reasons why I consider it a failure is because one, I failed to provide more content. I failed to reach out to everybody to say, hey, this isn't going to work, or even keep you all abreast of what's happening. And by doing so, I need to do better at that. So communication is, I would say, more frequent communication is my goal for 2026 to improve upon that failure because I know it's a failure in 2025. Let's improve it for 2026. So the failure as well is just that my newsletters. I know for sure that I have those come out just about every like the second week of the month, and I haven't had it done. I didn't do December because there was just so much happening, so much information was coming in, and I'm getting information overload. So going forward, what I'm gonna do to kind of help myself with this, and I'm just speaking freely, is that I need to start looking into taking action immediately. And what I mean by that is if I get a new information or a new source that's really good, just go ahead on and document that into my newsletter. And some of you might be feeling the same way. It's like, hey, I need to start focusing on more getting things done. And if you are one of those people having issues getting things done, I'm here to tell you I'm in the same boat. And the best way that I'm finding out is that I need to take action immediately, especially on my thought process. If there's something that I'm thinking about doing, go ahead on and start that process, because a doer will get it done faster than a thinker. You can sit there and think about it, sit there, blow air, but if you're not taking time out to actually move things forward, then you're, in a sense, in the same position as you were when you first thought about it. So, how about, hey, if you're thinking about putting money away to start saving for your vacation later in the year, go ahead and create an account, or put $5 off to a savings account, or create another savings account, or even another checking account, and just put $5 into it. It takes less than 10 minutes to do, maybe even less than 5 minutes. The 5 minutes is you picking up your phone, fumbling around with it just to log in, and then log into your bank account, and then say, hey, create new checking or savings account. Start off with $5. So if your plan is to take your family on vacation, put the $5 away just to start. Now you got to talk about the frequency. Okay, maybe you do like $1 or $2 here and there, or $5 here, $5 there. Before you actually know it, all right, I did like say like, hey, I didn't know where we were going to go, but whatever money is available, by the time you want to take this vacation, may it be August, September, or later in the fall, you can just look at how much money you have. Now you can start planning out. Okay, you can do it that way. Some people like to do differently. I'm more likely this part two side of the house, which is, let me go ahead on and put something on the calendar and work my way backwards to know how much money I'm gonna need to actually hit that particular spot, for that vacation. So that's how I work it. I know there's some people who would actually like, hey, let me go on and pay up front, and then I'll pay everything along the way. The problem with that one is that if you're not disciplined enough with your finances, excuse me, if you're not disciplined enough with your finances, then you can actually run the risk of not paying a bill, then you paying more than what you're supposed to, you paying interest on top of the things you don't really need to, when you can pay full cash. And also, depending on where you at financially, some people be like, hey, I don't like bills. I like to pay it right out. Cool. That's for you. And if you have it like that, that's great. So a lot of people would prefer to plan it out. Either which way, the way that, as long as you're not putting yourself into debt, to kind of enjoy yourself. And this is the reason why you want to enjoy yourself with confidence, is because you already paid your way. You don't have to worry about any other bills. You out having a good time and just enjoying your life. Now, so with those failures come boundaries. And understanding what those failures are also shares with your limitations and your tenacity. You try something new for the first time. If it's your first time trying to save $1,000, the reason why I say $1,000 is because once you see that first comment in your paycheck and your savings, it really does change your mindset. So once you get your first thousand, you be like, man, this was actually pretty cool. How long will it take for you to get to your second thousand? Make a little game out of it. Like, that's part of the failure process. What other boundaries are you going to put in place now? Because $1,000 mindset maybe can get you up to 5,000. But after that 5,000 mindset, you got to shift something if you don't go up any further. What does that look like to you? Do you want all that money in your savings? Do you want to invest it into an account, like far as like an investment account that you can actually have access to pull out from time to time? Now, when I say putting your money aside, again, this is for educational purposes only. I would say look into putting it off to the side, far as a um, high yield savings account. And having a high yield savings account is one of the ways that you can actually help grow your money while you're saving it. So that's very important to take a look into. All right, so we talked about the past. We talked about all of my um, interviews. We talked about my YouTube analytics. We talked about the RSS feed analytics as well, as far as the top episodes. Now, what we're going to talk about next is that I'm also being on panels. So it's a digital panel. I'm not sure if y'all know this, that I'm actually part of Experience, I guess you could say, pool of people to kind of reference. So if you have X or Twitter, go to just follow me on at About That Wallet. And I actually have one coming up soon on the 14th of January. And if you've been following the show, you know that I've been working with Experian. They actually been on my show this year. And I did about 11, can you believe it? 11 panels for Experian. That is really crazy. So it means that either A, they like what I have to say, and the people are really resonated with it to kind of get them to bring me back on. And then also one of the things with that, I actually had imposter syndrome for a while, thinking like, why me out of all the people that they have available for their panel? I'm really a podcaster, just helping out other people. I'm a podcaster and speaker, but are there other financial people that they could have? Yeah. Could they have selected somebody else and be like, yeah, you're not the right fit for us anymore, we're going into another directions? They could have said that too. But when it comes to success, you have to think about it. Success is chosen, not given, which means you could be the most talented person in the room, but if the person that's doing the selecting either don't know you or just feel like, hey, it's something about you they don't like, they won't bring you back on or even select you in the first place. So you have to have something that is providing to them some value, some return on investment to them, and they either see like a good working relationship. So when you start thinking about your success and you just feel like, man, nobody's selecting me, nobody's, I feel like I should be further, then start thinking about what are you doing right now that could help you? Who is in your network that could get you to that level that you want to get to? Maybe you don't want to be in the front facing, but you're building something on the back end that could eventually help people in the future. And if that's you, then find other people that are already in that next step. And if you haven't reached out to people that are in that next step or that next rung of where you at, or who have done what you're looking to do, I would suggest to ask people what conferences do they go to, or stalk somebody. Let's say stalk them. Follow somebody that's going to the place where you're going, and actually take a moment to see what conferences or events, or do they even host their own events, and actually attend those to kind of see, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to go for my business and my life goals. And by doing so, that really helps open up your eyes up and actually help you build your network on where you want to go at. All right. So it's about 33. Let's see if we can get into some drinks. And it's going to be light today. Light drink. We got to start off 2026 properly. Man, happy holidays, everybody. All right, let's get to this drinks and then start diving into some of the AI tools that I've been looking at for next year. Well, for this year. All right, so welcome back. And what drinks that we're having today? I don't see my song. They got where my song at. So what happened? Oh, here we go. All right. So the drink I'm having today is Smart Water. Smart Water, if you're listening, sponsor me. But anyway, this is alkaline water. I have a smart water for today because I want to feel a little smart. Start the day off pretty properly. Start the year. So, what drinks are y'all having today? You get smart for the Yep, that's what I gotta do. One drink at a time. I appreciate it. So, what are you drinking, Ruthie? Are you drinking anything? Let's see. Then let's see. We got that. Alrighty. All right. So now that we got the drinks out the way, it's time to start thinking about. Let's see. Oh man, I just realized I forgot my lemon water. Oh no, not in the freezer. So, man, it's gonna be frozen. At least you can call it ice cream. I guess if the world gives you frozen lemonade, then frozen lemon water, what can you make out of it? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? All right, so AI tools that I've been playing around with lately. This might surprise you all. I've only picked up maybe one extra AI tool because it was I've been playing around. It's actually an extension of ChatGPT, and it is called Sora. And let's see if I can log in here. Because the cool thing about Sora, it's almost like not a dream catcher, but it just reminds me of like a place where you can go and where it's like it doesn't get your exact thoughts, but it will do its best. And when you're dreaming and you're running around and it's like a slow motion run, that's what it feels like with Sora. And it's really weird on how accurate it does my face and beard versus other AI tools. You can give it an image and then it just shows up. So let me share my screen again. I'm gonna just go to my stuff because looking at other people's stuff is just way out of tune here. So let's see, share my screen. So Sora. Okay, so with Sora, it's really interesting to see how they have this. I'm just trying to make sure y'all can see me clearly. That's covering my face. We don't want that. This will do, I guess. I'll do side by side. Okay, let's make this wide. Okay, so Sora, I like it because I've been playing around with it. I was like,
Meat Perry.
make a
He makes balloons for a
porcupine,
living. Yeah.
like a day in the life of a porcupine at a bubble.
Meat Perry. He makes balloons for a living. Yeah, a porcupine in a balloon factory. He's steady on the valve, quick with the knot, and proud of every bright bubble he floats down the line. By quitting time, he's shaped as Meat Perry. He makes
Oh,
balloons
I
for a
thought
living.
that was
Yeah,
really
a porcupine in a
interesting.
balloon
What's
factory.
that?
He's shaped as Meat Perry.
Um, I did this one just to kind of see how it would do. And yes,
Small blue
hair
world
wasn't
spinning in my
great,
hand,
but
so fragile.
we got to
Yet
try
every
that.
turn carries oceans, mountains, and all the stories ever told. Incredible, isn't it? Small blue
Now,
world.
the reason why I like this is because it provided me an opportunity to kind of do more of what I wanted to do was a virtual, like futuristic, explore the world type of short film. And I did it in like a 3-part series. And let me see if I can find it right quick. Because I thought it was actually interesting that it was able to make this work. And it also takes images as well So if I were to put an image up there, it would make everything work. And yes, I'm trying to chop onions. Okay, let me see if I can get the beginning one to get the rest. No, I did not put this into a series yet. And no, I did not think about this all in one swoop. I was just creating a bunch of stuff and just seeing what it looks like. Okay, so this is kind of where it started, my futuristic self. So I started with this one here.
I still can't believe we're looking at the Andromeda Galaxy with our own eyes.
Its core is 2.5 million light years from Earth, yet here we are.
The swirl of
Sensors
stars looks like a
detect
city lit
cluster
up
of
at
young
night.
blue stars ahead. Shall I plot?
I still can't.
So that one was just kind of like, hey, plotting the course. And then this one was like, because I know different nebulas, because working at the Hubble telescope process, I was just trying to see what does it know what the nebulas actually look like. And surprisingly did really good getting my logo. And look at that hair texture. It's like, it's really...
I can't believe we're this close to the Crab Nebula. It's like standing inside a painting.
Filaments are moving at over 1,000 kilometers per second. Ionized oxygen and sulfur give them the colors you see.
I can't believe...
So the voice, yes, to me somewhat. But then I was like, hey, my face approach, what will happen?
Watch that glare of meteors, Anthony. They're spreading. I see him. I'm keeping low. Last clamp. Locked. Heading back in a second. Hold on. What is that? Control. Something's on the...
Right. So I tried a horror film version just to kind of see what it would look like. And that was actually pretty interesting. And then I was like, huh, if I was in space and I survived it, but I actually landed
Put it with the others.
on this new land, what would it be? So this is me landing. You know, like I said, I was just playing around with it, just trying to see what it would be. Like, this is actually my favorite clip.
It's locked. But this isn't what I expected. Everything is alive. I can feel its patterns inside my processors. Curious little one. If this world can grow, maybe so can I. I think I found it's locked. But this isn't what I expected. Everything is alive. I can feel its patterns inside my processors. Curious little one. If this world can grow, maybe so can I. I think I found
and everything. So, and then I was like, well, what if it looked like if a day in the life if I was just charging?
This isn't what I expected. Docking confirmed. Energy levels at 13%, beginning recharge. And here come the giants. They're calm, like the valley breathes with them, almost full, charge complete.
So that's one of the things that I've been playing around with. I know it's been really cool. Oh, hey, Lisa, thank you so much. And yes, please, if you haven't already, hit the like button. And Happy New Year. It's been amazing, amazing time.
This isn't what I expected. Everything's locked.
At least I did mention you, gave you a shout out. We got to get you back on the show for my a 2-hour special. I need to find time to do a 2-hour special because, man, life be lifing. All right, why is it not showing stuff? All right. So the reason why I said Sora is very interesting is because, one, you're getting like close to live action. Like, this could look like me if I were to, you know,
I traded the t-shirt.
do my beard up a little bit better.
Pocket watch at my side, the weight of the century and its ticket.
If
there's something grounding about it.
I had
take
did
fabric that's built to last.
You know, it did okay. But, you know, the network where I'm at is not the greatest, so we here, okay? Oh, no. It didn't like that I was doing too much. All right, so I'm going to show you one more clip. Like, as far as Sora being what it is, would you actually use something like this particular AI tool? So I'm gonna do this one. This one is, I call it like a horror film. As far as like if I was stuck on an oil rig, what would that be?
We were just here to check the pump, but something's still on this rig.
Coast Guard, do you copy?
Back now. We were just here to check the pump.
So And that's pretty cool. Like, it gives you a nice
Another
little
day,
10
another
clips of
Meet
10-second clips of everything that you do. And I'm actually up to 16 followers, which is surprisingly cool. So if you want to join Sora, I can actually, I think they give me like a referral code. I think I have, yeah, invite a friend. There we go. So if you want to join Sora, you can. You can always add me as a. You can add me as a friend, and then we can collaborate in different videos. So I think I did a collaboration with somebody in their videos.
I'm making some gentlemen. Honey, I'm home. When I was 19,
Trying to find out which
Saudi
one I
Arabia,
did a
I'm
collaboration with
between
someone.
on purpose, because that's exactly locked. Your money disappears if you don't get a plan for it. Look, Pepper's gone.
Oh, yeah, like this one, like Sammy did this.
Love isn't finished with you. Let it in again.
Maybe I could try.
That's all it takes.
So, like, she did that one and just threw me in there. So, like, when you go to create yours, you can actually just tag me into stuff. And like this person, I don't even know who this is, but I was like, you know, both of us just looking into the electric field in the air. That's what that was like. So it was like the beginning of a film, right? That's pretty cool.
The owl has hearts on it. Can't even buy.
So what
Careful, those
applications
carrots
do
and
you
system of
think
this
you would actually use this for? I'm just curious. So that's one tool. Let's see, another tool that I would use, that I've been using, has been really astonishing and growing by the second. And it's Notebook LM. So some of you will see tomorrow. I'm actually going to share this episode. Y'all will see tomorrow what I'm doing. And the reason why I'm sharing this is because Notebook LM is one of the cheat codes for podcasters. If you're looking to actually start a podcast or having interviews or you're interviewing people, this particular platform is really a cheat code because it actually helps you do your research on people. When I did Brett, I just gave Notebook LM the transcript for the show that we just did. And if you haven't, check out Brett Chakovitz episode where we're talking about luxury assisted living homes and memory care mansions. So this is what we had talked about. So if you're looking to get into assisted living, real estate, this is the episode for you. I cannot recommend this one enough. So highly recommend. Highly recommend. Then the cool thing about it, the reason why I say it's cool is because look what I can do. Say, look what I can do. I can create flashcards for that particular episode. The reason why you can do edit, you can do medium difficulty, easy, hard ones, number of cards. I can do fewer. I can say, what should the topic be? I would say assisted living. And then just say generate. So it can generate a whole nother set of flashcards on top of it. I can create a quiz based on those episodes, right? I can create a slide deck that would actually help create. I can do a detailed one or a presenter one and keep it short. English, I can do all these different languages and hit generate. So just from that one episode, I now have multiple assets that I can actually utilize on top of that particular show. So not just that I'm providing an audio piece, now I can provide a video piece. So if somebody went to the actual website, I can go ahead on and get these particular flashcards. So, like, what two senior care specializations does Brett Business focus on? Assisted living and memory care. So, and you can just keep going to, and this is like 44 cards. This is way too many cards for me to put out there. However, I can download these and then put them onto my website, or I can put them into a on like a FAQ or something like that. So I don't have to be stuck on anything else. So I even got a quiz. So, I don't, these are quizzes that I can actually put on the website and actually give this out to people to kind of like study about Brett and so forth. But so the reason why I say this is great for podcasters is because you're creating other assets in multiple ways to kind of provide the information. They say that you're supposed to at least be able to give somebody about 7 different ways that the information could be disseminated to someone so that they can retain the information. So as another thing that I like about Notebook LM is that it provides all of these resources, but also what else could you do with this? Say if you're trying to study for an exam, you can go ahead on and just type in that exam and just kind of get it going. So like for this, I can say add a source and I can say search the web, because I don't say if I needed more information about Brett. Chocolate. Oh, it's right there. Chocolate. And then I'll just say search the web, right? Now I want to do a fast research. I don't need to do a deep dive. And then boom, it's doing its research right quick. And then once it's done, I'll be able to use these as different resources already. See, it's found all these different resources. And I can add these to here. So it already searched YouTube. It already searched some other stuff. It looked like some blog pages. And I could just say import all of that. And because I'm able to import all of that, I can then go over here and create like a nice little podcast. But I did this 3 days ago. Just by a click of a button, gave me a quick summary episode of the episode that we just listened to. So I'm not hiding anything from you all. This is actually a pretty cool way to start thinking about AI in a different way as a companion, more so as a competition. So if you're at work and you're trying to figure out how the best way to understand the SOP or policy that just put out in place, you can say, hey, what is missing from this policy? Or you can say, create a slide deck based on this policy, and it would actually create the slide deck for you. So you don't have to worry about really doing the work if you already have everything done. So this one's look like 40. Why do you need 40 flashcards? 44 flashcards. Nobody need that many flashcards to learn the topic. I don't know. And so that's one of the things that I do want to share is these different AI tools that is available to you that can help you be successful in what you want to do. All right, everybody. So I shared with you 2 AI tools. We went through my ups and downs, the things that I failed at, things that I need to do better at, and also things that we talked about the future as well. So I just want to thank you all again for a wonderful time in 2025. We have a lot to come in 2026, and I look forward to each and every one of you. Hopefully, we're going to have some more fun times. We're going to have some extra guests. You're going to see some repeat guests as well. So I can't wait to have them on. And Lisa, we got to get you we got to find a time slot to get our 2 hours in. And I want to make sure we do that. All right, everybody. Y'all be safe. I'm out. Peace.